The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 16th day of May, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. Sherry should be with us in a minute, and Leanna Lambert will also be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. What can we say? What a weekend. Tragedy in the U.S. Looks like a lot of excitement in Bermuda. But greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one to begin the week as we discuss the gift by Slutty Vegan founder to Clark Atlanta University graduates before focusing on whether or not a college degree is still worth it. The Daily Play is a Who Said It. So we're going to be doing a little, famous quote. Can you guess who said what? Now let's see if Sherry's ready to come in and join the conversation. Join. It's just so similar. Let's see. Good morning, Sister Sherry. How are you?
Good morning. You're so funny, and you just love to do these type of things when I'm not available. But that's fine. That's easy for you. You go low, and I go high.
What's that high? What you smoking? I mean, sorry, it's Monday. It's Monday. It's
Wow.
Monday. It's Monday, folks. It's Monday. Sherry, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. What did I do? I always seem to forget, don't I? Yesterday I had some things on. Oh, but no, because I worked Saturday, so I was like, what did I do? I actually was doing some stuff for my job at a festival, so it was pretty cool.
Okay, sounds fun. Sounds fun. Well, I can remember what I did this weekend. I watched some basketball yesterday, game sevens, and poor Chris Paul, he got a beat down
Yeah,
like his never gave him. Oh boy,
I was gonna say, what was this hill? I kept hearing Chris Paul, but I wasn't paying attention like that, and I was
it's
like,
not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Forget that.
oh,
Yeah, brother, just yeah. So, hey, look. At the end of the day, most players who play sports don't win the big one. Only a select few, and so
oh.
I think we put too much emphasis on who actually has and who doesn't. But glad that you made it through the weekend to come back sober. I mean, come back fresh and have some fun with it.
Sober. I
No,
I
fresh.
actually didn't even have a drink or anything this
Yeah.
weekend.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, Shayna Smith says beat down of his life talking about Chris Paul, folks. If you watched it.
Oh,
But there's a lot of good things. I'm Sherry. It's graduation season. It's graduation season.
yes.
And graduation season means a lot of celebrations, a lot of gifts. And folks, we're gonna this morning we're gonna have two college related, graduation related questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first one we'll focus on what happened with the Clark Atlanta University graduates, and then the second one we'll just speak. I mean, we have people in the audience whose children are in college, going to college, and graduating, right? Or friends and family, whether or not a college degree is still worth it. But for those who, let me just give some background. So,
Okay.
Slutty Vegan raises 25 million in in Series A funding round led by Mr. Dennis New Voices Fund. So, those who don't know, the Essence January February cover girl Aisha Pinky Cole is the owner of Slutty Vegan, owner and founder of Slutty Vegan, and they announced that they had raised 25 million in Series A funding, which pushed the brand's valuation beyond 100 million The fund was led by Mr. Dennis, New Voices Fund, and Danny Myers Enlightened Hospitality Investments. Now, this was reported on May 12th. She claimed that she's got the Michael Jordan of food on her team. She's looking to scale the business. She's looking to grow to more, brick and mortar stores, right? So this is a great thing. Her past, she stated herself that she had a rocky road when it came to her businesses, and now look where she is. So now, what brings us to the question of this morning? Well, titled Slutty Vegan founder Pinky Cole, a few days later, gifts LLC to every member of Clark Atlanta's graduating class. Every single graduate in this audience will leave this stadium as a business owner, quote. Now, let's just give some more background from this story. One of Atlanta's most dynamic recent success stories made a gesture to pay it forward to the next generation on Saturday, telling them she wants them, as she did, to fail and then find inspiration in the losses. Pinky Cole, the founder of Slutty Vegan, gifted LLCs to Clark Atlanta University's graduating class, as I mentioned. Now, what's interesting about this is I've always said a couple things. I've always questioned why it's so easy to get a loan for a college versus a loan for a business or a loan for a home. Why are they so willing to give loans? And we'll get to that when the second part of the show in the whether college is still worth it. But the question of the morning for the audience and the Bermuda public at large is, what can we learn from Aisha Pinky Cole, the founder of Slutty Vegan, who gifted LLCs to the Clark Atlanta University graduating class of 2022? And if you don't mind, I want to go first. Not my entire point, but just to say this, because we forever hear that entrepreneurship's not for everyone or business is not for everyone. But she made a key statement, and I'm speaking as a person who had 2 failed businesses by the age of 30. And I don't say failed because they didn't, I went broke or they ended up in the red. Neither one of those businesses ended up in the red. When I say failed because they don't exist anymore. And so I understand what she means when she's saying your opportunity. She's not saying that everyone who gets this LLC is going to be an entrepreneur and it's going to work out for them. What she's saying is, no one gave me a chance, but I failed. You're going to have a chance to at least fail, right? And then bounce back. You're going to have a chance to at least start from something. So what can we learn from her gift to the graduates? Now, we've seen gifts. I think Mr. Smith, I forgot his name, at the Morehouse graduation last year or a year before last, he paid all their student debt. We've seen stuff like that. But what can we learn from these kind of things? What can we learn from Aisha Pinky Cole, the founder of Slutty Vegan, who gifted LLCs to Clark at University's graduating class of 2022?
Well, Jamal, ironically, I had a chance to hear her speak in 2019. Actually won some tickets to hear her and Erica Barrett on their Source tours. And she spoke and just was very inspirational and motivational, and how to become a successful entrepreneur just like them. She gave out lots of information. I think the key part, as she said, and we agree on something, was her telling about her failures and and how important it was that you must fail at some point in order to learn and grow. The key to it all is not to give up and know how to pivot when needed. And I think that you have also talked about how, we can always do charity, but how can we not have people back in the same position that they were before? And I think being able to give them something to start with, to push forward business ideas or purchase a home or do different things, because there's a lot of things that could come under the LLC umbrella. And I think what we can learn from it is being able to show a man how to fish and they can eat for a very long time.
Traveling Trotty says, such a profound gift to graduates. Definitely a hand up. Interesting. Well, I want to, obviously these graduates could be graduating with degrees in sociology. They can be graduating with degrees in marketing. They could be graduating with degrees in psychology, criminal justice, anything. But if someone told me they were giving me an LLC as a graduation gift, I don't know, honestly, what I would do. I was not in a space at that time. So my hope, this hasn't been reported. My hope is that something else comes along with this, or
Right.
the graduates take advantage, because truthfully, she's done her part. But my hope
Yeah.
is that the institution says, you know what? Anyone who has an idea that would like help in figuring out how to turn it into a business, here's some direction, here's a blueprint. Because my obviously not, Craig Simmons, the lecturer from the Bermuda College and economist, he said, and I don't want to quote him wrong, but a high percentage, 90-something% of new businesses fail, right?
Yeah.
He said something to that effect late last year or early this year on this show. And I'm not wishing bad things, but we know that most of the businesses will not work out. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. As her overall point says, she failed. Most businesses fail. We must not forget the story of Steve Jobs. I always say Apple products are not the greatest, but they're the best marketed products. When I was in college, I used Apple products because I was in video and graphics and stuff. I was doing those classes. Everybody else had a freaking Dell or whatever, was using Office, whatever. Now everyone has an Apple product. But we forget the story of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. Steve Jobs one of those animation companies started that, and they bought him back, right? So when we speak about failure, I mean, we've got to give ourselves, and that's why I always say in sales and business, you have to take risk. And yes, there are people who can take more risk than others because they have a better foundation. This woman, what can we learn? Is we have to find a way to give people like us a chance. We have to support them in ways that will help them long term. No, we can't do it all for them, but we can definitely give them something where they can go and figure it out for themselves.
And I agree with you, Jamal. Again, for both of us back in those days, what would we have done with an LLC? But this day and age is quite different. They already know about this stuff. These kids, you have kids that are 10 and under and who have LLCs and are doing big things for businesses. But a lot, as well with you, I hope that there is some help and foundation for them to go through the process. Now, here in Georgia, I think an LLC is like $150. Right, to start. But it's all paperwork and it's all of those kind of things. You got to set up your business orders. You got to set up, and that needs coaching. So I do hope that there's some coaching available for those who just don't know.
Indeed. Sam Cat Place, she states, while it is an awesome gift, I would have to see the fine print to that. I'm sure there are some caveats to it if the students accept, and truly hope it's in their benefit and not any hidden agenda. I'm just saying, well, to her point, the gentleman, Mr. Smith, was it Robert Smith, Mr. Smith, that gave the, I think it was Morehouse a couple years ago, said it was paying their tuition. Yeah. Well, there was a story that came out afterwards about tax troubles, and this was all about him. Yeah, you know how we always speak about taxes and so on. So there was a story. I'll have to get the story, read up on it, and bring it all back to you all. But
I have to agree. When I did see it, that was the first thing, the part of my American brain that worked. I was like, oh, this is a tax write-off, but it's still a good gesture, for the back end. But I don't think it's any really hidden agenda with it, Sam Cat, only because that it's something that, ironic, it doesn't cost a whole lot, but a lot of times people don't use them to do their businesses. And I think what she's just trying to do is set up a foundation and a structure.
Indeed. We've got Liganox translations. I hope I pronounced that right.
You did good.
They don't necessarily have to start a new business idea under the LLC. It's more of a means of reducing the amount of taxes they pay on their income. That is the gift, indeed. And here's the thing: how many of them know this, though?
Mm-hmm.
That's another challenge. So again, it goes back to what we were saying: the help, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to have the direction and the assistance to understand how this benefits them, not just as a business, but for taxes? And boy, taxes are a thing in this country,
Yeah.
United States of America. Hedeline Stevenson Swan says, "Thank you, Jamel. That's exactly what I was thinking. Other graduates even ready to start their own business. Just being realistic. However, thumbs up to Pinky Cool." Folks, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I think.
But
Okay.
I was gonna say, but I do think this generation knows a lot more, of course, than what we do, right? So I do think that they have a whole lot of information in front of them that they have access to in order to get this done. I listened to Kadeen Alice and her husband, and they talked about the LLC and how Kadeen and Deval Alice, you just Google them. You
Well,
would
the
like them.
audience wants to know. You can't be bringing people.
Oh, okay. It's called the Deadass Podcast, and
Uh,
Kadeen and Deval Alice. He was a football player for Lions, I think, at one point.
he means
Anyway,
the American version of throw, folks. Go ahead, sorry.
so they talked about doing that LLC because he works for Tyler Perry and how the production company pays them. And the reason why they do that is for tax purposes. Anything happens, they go under the production company and not for them. So their production company pays them.
And to her point about the reducing taxes on income, folks, this is what I take from all of this. An LLC. We're entering a space where you see, look at the way the world's worked since COVID, right?
Yeah.
You're in control of your career when you were talented and have something to offer.
Mhm.
Sell yourself as a contractor rather than an employee. Having that LLC gives you the opportunity to sell your services as a contractor versus employee. Now, here's the concerns, and I'm going to read through this because this was a thread I shared in the TDH group last night, and I really hope people understand this, right? She's named Kimberly Nicole Foster. She was on Twitter. She said, listen to it, babe, we're not going to be able to small business our way out of structural oppression. She goes on to say, owning/running a business requires a ton of money to do things legitimately from the beginning. Even if you DIY the basics, you still need real contracts, lawyers, trademarks, bank accounts, bookkeeping, tax preparation, etc. Successful business owners be BSing y'all. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I wrote in my journal at 9 I was going to be an entrepreneur. I love my job. I'm just saying the narratives are oversimplified. Not to mention, and this is a key point in these United States of America, can you afford to purchase health insurance on the marketplace? Do you have the money to fund your own retirement? If you like your job, keep the job, it's fine. What do I mean? Why am I reading all of this, and how does it relate to going out and contracting and doing it on your own? Let's be honest. Many people in this audience, especially those who are in the United States, have the talent and ability to be out and running their own company. But let's just think of some of the benefits, especially in Bermuda, not necessarily the United States, but Bermuda. Health insurance costs you probably half of what it would cost you if you were out on your own. Think about that, right? The pensions, the paid vacay. So this is where we're going, the big difference between entrepreneurship and being self-employed. Being self-employed does not equate to entrepreneurship. Why? Because being self-employed requires you to be there. You cannot get the paid vacations like you would do being an entrepreneur or working for someone else. So her point about we can't small business our way of structural oppression, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. But that said, there are ways to contract an LLC your way out of some of those big costs. And I think we can't overlook that. Sean Smith says in life, you only learn through your failure. How many times does a baby fall before it can walk? But Sean, let me say, to quote this first tweet, we're not going to be able to small business our way out of structural oppression. What does that mean to me, based on your comment? Is some people have the opportunity to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Others don't. Just think, I'll give you sports examples. Why is it? You look at the NBA, and the Boston Celtics just had a first-year coach given a chance, taking them to the Eastern Conference Finals. Previously, most of these leagues rotate the same old white men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chance after chance to fail. Mark Jackson, who pretty much put the Warriors together, hasn't had a job since. Black coaches in the NFL get one shot and they're out, yet bad coaches keep getting opportunity after opportunity. This is the same with businesses, Black businesses in particular. We only get one shot. And to the point about small business all the way out of it, folks, many Black people who are out here, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, many of these small businesses, they may make a certain amount of, let's say they make $150,000 a year. But when it comes to the expenses, they're probably making less than they would working for another company. So her point is valid. There's a way out of it. But we have to focus on the structural part of it.
And I think even with this platform, Jamal, I don't think people even understand the amount of things that happen behind you and I and the rest of the team. I know I was like pleasantly surprised in regards to the structure of this whole business that you have now. And I was like, oh my goodness, you got this, and it's so many different parts that you don't even think of that go into just us being able to be on this platform right now. So if people only knew,
Indeed.
there's a lot of players that go on into you and I and everybody else on the team being here.
Mhm.
People would be surprised. It's not like we just came up here, signed up and said, okay, we're going to go ahead and do it. It's a whole situation back here, just so you all know. This is a business.
Yeah, Sherry, you'll see some stuff. But no, her point is it's valid. It's more than just turning on our computers and lights and mics and coming here and having a conversation. There is a lot that goes on. And so let's go to one more comment before we bring Leanna in. NTS says Clark Atlanta University has an entrepreneurial management degree program. Perhaps the B School can provide support to those who receive the LLC gifts. Well, that is great, NTS. And let's bring Leanna in, see what she thinks. Good morning, Lee. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I am wonderful. Nice to see you both this morning.
Nice. Likewise. Did you get some rest this weekend?
I did. I stayed in the house. Unfortunately, was unable to get up to Cross Island, but I got a chance to watch on television, and wow, is all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to start any trouble, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't. But it's just amazing how many Bermudians, especially Black Bermudians, seem to like sailing now versus 2017. But that's a political story. We're not going there.
Jamal.
Yeah, I'm not saying people change. We change. You know, shucks. I actually like certain people before they became politicians. But that's another show.
Not
Lee, I'm
shucks.
so glad.
Oh my gosh.
Not shucks.
Early on a Monday.
Yeah, that's the first day of the week. I should be here.
It's been out of the gate, just
He said shucks.
Shucks.
I said
Shucks.
That's his grumpy old ways coming through. That's
For real. It was the
Oh.
shucks for me, Lee. I couldn't get past that.
Oh, Lee, you want to do some news or something?
Yeah, let's look.
Shucks. She
Over to
does.
you, Lee.
Over to you, Lee.
Thanks, Jamal and Sherry, and good morning to everyone that's tuned in with us today. I hope you all are having a great start to this Monday morning. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. As Jamal said earlier, a lot of excitement in Bermuda this weekend as Australia were crowned two-time champions after they defended their title in Season 3 of the Bermuda Sail Grand Prix presented by Hamilton Princess. U.S. Now, surrounded by on-water spectators, while others cheered and waved flags from land, it was a nail-biting close race on the final day when high-speed sailing vessels took to the Great Sound to see who would be victorious. Well, in the end, it would be Australia defeating Great Britain, which captured second place, while debutantes Canada claimed the third place on the podium. And while the West End was riddled with a thrilling atmosphere, the island's central parish was also buzzing as thousands saw the return for the fight against cancer, with the 2-day Relay for Life event taking place this weekend. Now, reports say roughly 1,800 participants in close to 100 teams turned out at the event in honor of those who have been touched by cancer. The event, which sees thousands of participants walk the North Field at the Dame Flora Duffy Stadium for 24 hours, unfortunately had to be canceled for the past 2 years due to the pandemic. However, groups of fundraisers, family members, and supporters welcomed the return with entertainment, games, competitions, and vendors. As of noon yesterday, the fundraising count was at more than $350,000, with teams continuing to fundraise until the end of the month. Meanwhile, 2 men narrowly escaped injury on Saturday morning after the car they were in went overboard in the waters of the causeway. Now, police say shortly before 6 a.m. on Saturday morning, police received a 911 report that an SUV had gone overboard at the causeway in St. George's. Upon arrival, officers found the vehicle partially submerged in the waters on the Castle Harbor side of the causeway, immediately east of Blue Hole Hill. Now, the 2 male occupants of the vehicle declined medical attention at the scene, but did not appear to have been injured. Traffic on the causeway was temporarily blocked in both directions while the vehicle was lifted out with the help of a crane. Now, the spokesperson said that they wish to thank the public for their patience and understanding during the exercise. Anyone who witnessed the incident or may have had any information is asked to call 211 or the main police telephone number on 295-0011. And for those traveling into the city, you might want to leave a little bit earlier tomorrow, as road paving on Front Street is set to get underway. Now, the city of Hamilton reminded residents that the work will start on a stretch between Burnaby Street and Parliament Street. Once these works are completed, paving will continue down Front Street from the Birdcage to the ferry terminal, and then in the area of Point Pleasant Road, inclusive of Bars Bay Driveway. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 77 and a low near 69 degrees. We can expect plenty of cloud to greet the day again today, but there will be some sunny periods with a couple of showers around. Now, high pressure is now losing its grip over the area. This heralds a gradual transition back to showery weather once again. Tuesday is forecasted to be the wettest day before less humid and drier weather develops behind a weak cold front on Wednesday. That's all for our daily hour news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Sherry and Jamal in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
Alrighty, Lee, thank you so much for that. So I really forgot to ask you, what are your thoughts on the Slutty Vegan founder, Aisha Pinky Cole, and gifting the LLCs? What did you have any opinion on that?
I didn't actually have a chance to read it last night, but listening to you guys speak this morning, I had agreed with Sherry when she was talking about, the fact that as entrepreneurs, a lot goes on behind the scenes. This isn't just a wake up and make it happen every day. So, just to see all the work that gets put behind there, and seeing that these colleges want to or should introduce a program to help people to understand the amount of work, time, and energy that gets put behind getting or making your own business or creating your own business. I once was an entrepreneur, and I learned it all by myself through YouTube and reading documents and going through legislation and understanding how things all function. So it's great to hear that something like this wants to come to fruition.
On the back of what you just said, and reading what I just read from the young lady on Twitter, I think a lot of people think that entrepreneurship is hustle culture. It's not.
It's not.
Hustle culture doesn't require the accountant, the lawyers, the patents and everything. And I really trademarks. It's so much more to it. And folks, I'm gonna tell you, it's not cheap. So I want us, Black people especially, when I say us, and this is not offending anybody. Well, equal opportunity family, but whatever. But on a serious note, I truly hope that we understand that. Yeah. I hope we get that entrepreneurship for us to reach this heights that I believe are able for most of us. We have to understand that hustle culture is not entrepreneurship, nor is being self-employed. I'm not saying those are bad things. Let me be clear.
Right.
Let me be clear. Those are not bad things. Those are great things, especially when you're good at it. But they're different.
And you have to scale. Don't let the Instagram and social media let you know, like, and then it's all glisten.
Boom, it happens. Yeah,
it's a scaling process.
Indeed. You've got some days to remember for us, Sherry?
I do. Brunch enthusiasts and cocktail fanatics, this is your day. May 16th is National Mimosa Day. The classic mixed drink, which is equal parts brut champagne and fruit juice, usually orange juice, has become a brunch staple and popular drink at weddings. The drink dates back to the 1920s and most likely got its name from the yellow flower native to Australia. With a variety of ways to add a twist to this cocktail, it's fun, easy to celebrate this drink, and find Mimosa good.
Well, Sherry, I'll join you at the end of the year for Mimosa because I have to admit I miss those things. I miss them. It was my favorite.
Oh wow!
On a Monday. So hold on. I did find me how to make a virgin mimosa, folks. If you care. So I just asked them for some sparkling water and the orange juice and mimosa.
But they have alcohol-free champagne, Jamal. I mean, you can still get champagne.
I was drinking some brut last night. Yes, I was. But they don't have it at most restaurants yet. You know what I'm saying? So I have to ask But you know me, I will take my own bottle if I need to. All right.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
The auntie with the purse, Sherry. Is the auntie with the purse?
Shucks!
Take my cooler with me. Don't worry about that.
Lee, you're on it.
Thank you to my Lisa.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All righty, folks. All righty. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. And our question, I should have asked Leanna this too.
Yeah.
Does she still believe a college degree is worth it?
Maybe she'll come back.
And once we come back, we're going to discuss that, whether or not. You can start putting your comments in now, folks. Do you believe a college degree is still worth it? We'll go over some pros and cons. Stick with us. Oops, wrong one.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's. I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
We're featuring a range of remarkably effective household cleaning solutions made with ecologically sound ingredients and pleasing fragrances from Ecos, a company with over 50 years experience producing plant-powered cleaning products. The founder was a veteran chemist in the cleaning products industry and started up Ecos as a response to the harsh chemicals he had routinely encountered. Try Ecos non-abrasive cream cleanser, vinegar window cleaner, and in spray bottles, Orange Plus and Parsley Plus cleaners, shower and floor cleaners, furniture polish, and stain and odor remover. Why anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All righty, welcome back to the Big Show. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed on our website so you don't miss a chance for updates, promotions, prizes, and more. Also, if you're on the go and can't watch, that's okay. Download the BCG Radio app, available for both Android and Apple devices, and you can listen to us every single live episode. We'll also send a belated birthday shout out to my pops, Anthony Otterbridge, who celebrated his day on Saturday. I was invited to the party, but life happened. So wishing him a happy New Year. That's right, Sherry. You weren't invited, were you?
I wasn't, but I'm there in spirit. Happy birthday, Uncle Bridge. That's my boy.
I don't know why he like you. So we'll have to take you over because he fried some fish this weekend. I fried some fish too in honor of you.
You, dear Jamal, is very proud of you because we was very concerned about this whole Vendas fish sandwich, but you did redeem yourself.
Yes.
It wasn't Bermuda fish, but it was fresh fish, and you cooked it.
It was yellowtail. They caught it from the Atlantic. It caught it probably swam from Bermuda last week.
You absolutely right, Jamal. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, and it tasted wow.
Oh, I mean, you'd have to ask the folks who consumed it, but I'm not complaining. Somebody asks, so how do you season it? You season the fish, then you put do a little something different in your batter. I'm not gonna tell did Colonel Sanders tell you what he looked? Did he tell you?
The thing is, we just want to make sure your process is correct because you have other processes.
Colonel Sanders didn't even give you all that, so why you want all my stuff?
Because people worried, Jamal.
Oh, okay.
People worried.
Anyway, enough about me because you you can't afford my cooking. We're not gonna go there. You can't afford my cooking. Oh, it's $1 million a piece of fish. $1 million. Right? Hey, look, it's like gold, Sherry. It's like gold. Anyway, good conversation this morning. But second, we're going to touch on a college degree, whether or not you believe a college degree is still worth it. And I want to go to Forbes. Forbes.com. So they actually had this, they had an article, is college, on April 11, 2022, they had an article, is college worth the cost? Pros versus cons. And so let me just go over some of the pros and cons, but how much does college cost? Well, according to this article, the College Board reported that the average total cost of attending public school for an in-state student is $27,330. Obviously, this is in the United States, and at private universities, $55,800. If you graduate within 4 years, that means a degree would cost approximately between $109,320 and $223,200, depending on which type of school you attend. So why is college worth it? Here's the 3 reasons to consider based on this Forbes article. College graduates earn more than non-graduates, right? So how much more? Well, the median salary for workers with high school diplomas is said to be $38,792. And a bachelor's degree median is supposed to be $64,896. I take this with a grain of salt, folks. Mm-hmm. And then number 2, the majority of jobs require college education. We'll touch on that as well. Mm-hmm. Number 3, college graduates are more likely to have health insurance. Incredible.
Key.
And now we'll go to 3 reasons why college is not worth it, according to this article. You likely will graduate with student debt. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, high-paying jobs aren't guaranteed.
Another yup.
And number 3, it can take more than 4 years to graduate. Now, I'm not going to give you the alternatives because let's just say our good friend, the economist and trusted, I'm just going to say, lecturer on this show, Craig Simmons, actually could have written this article because he actually gave us solutions to this. Mm-hmm. He gave us solutions which are in this article, which was written way after Mr. Simmons actually came on the show and said it. But the question, folks, do you still believe a college degree is worth it? What are your thoughts on that?
So, you know me, Jamal, I kind of stay in the middle of different things. I really do believe that it's up to the person. Is it worth it? Yes, if you are in that space that there are certain jobs that you want to be in, certain spaces that you want to be in. And it's only certain spaces that allow for a lot of these pros to be put forth for you. So it's kind of hard. I really think it's up to the individual on what is worth to them and what it means to them, because college isn't for everybody.
Like entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
David, my
Yeah.
question for you.
I feel that based on the job level, regular employee versus boss, a degree can help set the way one interacts with the other. A pet peeve of mine is having a boss/manager that isn't educated on paper but acts like it. Interesting.
I think we confuse the term educated with schooled. I don't think that someone who graduates college, I mean, everyone's got a damn degree these days, is necessarily educated. They are well trained and schooled, though. So I think that's my only issue with what he said, educated. And I'm speaking as a person with a master's in business administration. Well, total of 4 degrees. Sherry, you have a master's degree as well.
Yes.
And I'm not demeaning what we've accomplished. I'm just saying, I think I've learned as much outside of the classroom as I've learned in it. I think the key is to keep learning, not to, consider your degree as the be all end all. So that's that word educated for me.
Yeah. And I think it also depends on where you decide to reside, right? Bermuda and United States are two different beasts. United States seems to be a governing body in regard to different certifications, different, college degrees, different things to get you in the door. And
no,
it also
I disagree. I think the United States
Why?
is a business. It's not about degrees. And I think Bermuda, you need certifications when you think of reinsurance in that area. In the United States, it's all about freaking business. It's literally when you're getting told for an entry level job to sell shoes at freaking Macy's or to be freaking line worker, and I'm not demeaning any job, but that has nothing to do with being qualified or having certifications. That's all about making sure the business of education, that clock keeps ticking.
But I think Bermuda is getting to that. I don't think certifications were mandatory in different areas. Reinsurance is a whole different set of things. When you look at social work and you look at different trades, you look at different other entities, a lot of certifications weren't put into place until recently. And I say recently, last 10, maybe 15 years. But that wasn't but that wasn't the case in Bermuda back in the day. It was to go to school, get a degree, know somebody who works in that business, and you can get a job, to be honest.
I think in the United States, it's really about keeping that structural system mentioned earlier going. Like it's a business more than necessarily the protection of education. Sheikha Rana says a BA degree is still entry for a lot of opportunists. What's not worth it is the cost of the big name schools. Shop around. There's a lot of accredited schools that won't cause 10 years of debt, but then they shift the goalposts, Sheikha. They shift the goalposts. They start talking about what school you went to for your degree and like where it ranks. And it's a business to me when it comes to that. But I take your point and agree. Traveling Trotty says there are some careers where you need a university degree. For example, a dentist. I didn't think I would want someone working on my teeth with a degree. Yeah, I don't think I would want a doctor who hasn't probably gone to medical school and done a certain amount of hours working on me in surgery or whatnot. Yeah. So I definitely take that point. But then again, there are people who have been doctors and went for years in these institutions as well, who have pretty much been horrible at their jobs. We've seen many cases on 2020 and Dateline. So is it the education, or is it morale? Is it conscience? Is it true education versus school?
And is it true passion about what it is that you truly want to do? Are people just taking up degrees because this is what your parents said that you're supposed to do? I know for me, had I not, I probably would have a degree for something totally different.
Or you did what your parents told you to do?
Say that again.
Did what your parents told you to do?
Yeah, my dad was a lot of, get a job and you go to government to work. But that's that mentality during that time. It was still also just be educated. My parents both just wanted me to have a degree and be educated, because it was something that they weren't able to do during this time. So the generation I think that I came from was a lot of our parents pushing us to go to college, because that wasn't always the opportunities that they had during their time. But had I kind of listened to myself and said, I know I could have did what I wanted to do, I could have pushed the envelope. That's just me.
Yeah, I get you, and you're right. Like I'll sit here and be honest with you. I do regret spending so much on college. That's my biggest regret. You know that story about like minimum wage was $7 20 years ago. It's still $7 and whatnot, but yet companies are making much more, and the rich are making, like, it fascinates me how, they say go to college, you come out of college, you're offered $10, and then 15, 16 years later, you prove yourself and you're still being offered the same money. Like, it's fascinating to me. And, I know someone mentioned it's who you know and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, do we really need to go to college? Like, do we really need, like, I loved the schools I went to because I was very intentional. I'm not academically inclined, so I knew I needed a technical school where it was a lot of hands-on, and that went along with the theory, right? I was intentional about wanting to work in the tourism space, so the graduate school I chose for my program was known for culinary, hospitality, and tourism. So I was very intentional. There are ways to do it, and again, I'll get to the point that Craig Simmons made on this show. Sean Smith and Michelle White for you, Sherry.
Depends on what you want out of life. If you want to be rich, not really. But if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, etc., then yes. University degrees help sift through applicants, and it also, depending on the post, helps organizations measure potential growth. The course of a program doesn't always really measure what type of person or future a person will rise to. I wanted personal growth. That's why I went away as an adult student, then master's.
And I agree with Sheikah. Do what you can to reduce college debt.
Yes.
Karen Simmons says, stirring the pot, it's hard for me to quantify whether it is worth it or not. It still feels that like separating those who are able and those who aren't able to attend college/university. Thank you for saying that, because I don't think those who don't have the opportunity, and let's be clear, there are people who don't have the opportunity for various reasons. Economics, right?
Yeah.
It could be grades, just not having the background that they could be very smart, but just didn't have the grades in school, right? But we can't act like they're a less educated group just because they didn't have the opportunity. And let's not talk about, there's scholarships. We know how some of the scholarships work. If it was not for government scholarships and grants and loans, a lot of people would never have had the opportunity.
Yeah.
I hate the idea. And we had KPMG on recently, but I don't like the idea that someone should have to have a 3.0 to get a scholarship. I don't like the idea that people need to have high grades. Not everyone is an academic. Someone who has a 2.0 may contribute greater to this community and society than someone who has a 3.5. Like, I didn't have a 3.0 or higher until I was in graduate school. I graduated undergrad with like 2.75. I'm telling you my business.
Right.
I'm not an academic, but I sure as hell left graduate school with a 3.8, I think it was 3.78.
Yeah.
But again, it's fascinating because I feel like we eliminate, we discredit not everyone who's going to contribute to the community in a way that benefits us all is going to be an academic.
Absolutely, Jamal. And and I look at family systems, right? So if you come from a family that is highly educated, it also puts the person that isn't per se at a different advantage. And I'm going to use myself. I'm going to put my sister and my cousin out there. Very highly educated. They both, one skipped a grade, this, that, and the other, and we're all at the same school, Gilbert Institute. And here comes Sherry, who is not this highly educated, highly intellectual, and just into her schoolwork as the two persons ahead of me were. So how do you think I was treated at school during those times of trying to live up to a standard that wasn't for me?
Yeah. Sam Cat Play says, yes, unfortunately, common sense is not part of this curriculum, and it truly would help even those people who didn't get a degree to be better employees or employers. We need a college of common sense. Michelle White says, there are jobs that use associates or bachelors as a guide to a person's stick-to-itness. It could be in basket weaving. Christine Ken Hamilton says, once I saw that my son was not college material, I placed him in a trade school. He enjoys it. There we go. Shigarena
Awesome.
says, students in trade schools are making money immediately, and college graduates could be paying loans well into their 40s. We need good plumbers, electricians. And that's Michelle White says, there remains many scholarships, loans, and grants that people don't apply for. I was able to get a few with average grades and was the only applicant. Well, I want to say this to that because so many, and we discussed it last week on the show, there are so many scholarships and grants and loans that people don't apply for. But when you have so many stipulations to scare people away, it's like a job application. They put jobs applications to weed people out. And people are like, I'm not going to waste my time going through all of this just to be told no. So you have to make it attractive to people to make them feel like they have a chance or opportunity to get this. This is not just on the person who's not applying.
Absolutely.
It's not. Do you believe a college degree is still worth it? So let's read. And this is along the lines of what Craig Simmons, the Bermuda College lecturer and economist, said. So here are some alternatives to college. Is a college degree worth it? Not for everyone. If you decide that attending a four-year school isn't the right decision for you, there are other options you can use to earn a good income. Community college. Now, if you remember what Mr. Simmons said, he said community college is going to be our way out of our current economic predicament, right? Why? Because you're getting people to the workforce faster, just 2 years of school if they get through, right? It's going to cost them less. They're not going to owe money, right? So they'll have more money to spend into the economy. Mr. Simmons is genius, I'm telling you. So community college is cheaper than attending a four-year university. Of course it is. Average cost is just $3,770. Right? And I don't know what it is in Bermuda. If anyone from Bermuda College is listening, please, you can feel free. But for example, the following career paths require 2-year degrees and have above average salaries: radiation therapists, computer programmers, dental hygienists, registered nurse, telecom installer. These careers range from starting at $53,000 to $80,000 in the United States. And of course, Chico Reyna and so many others have said it. Trade schools outside of community college, trade schools, vocational schools, and technical colleges. You said it because you are a brilliant and intelligent audience. Electrician, plumber, carpenter, mechanics. 42,000 to 56,000 starting immediately when you're done with trade school.
Immediately.
Entrepreneurship is the other route, right? It can be better than attending college. As an entrepreneur, you can be your own boss, set your own salary. Average salary to start is $43,000. Now, this can work for people who come from families who have something that's already existing, right? But the opportunities are there. And again, as you all said, trade schools, community colleges, they are options. But as a community, we have to stop demeaning and acting like they are less than. We have to stop acting like they're less than, because I tell you what, all of us require those people in those positions, those important industries at some point in our life.
Everybody's looking for an electrician, a plumber, anybody to even install TV brackets and just different things. But I do, and that's why I was saying school's not for everyone. I hope that parents know, hone in what their children are passionate about, instead of pushing them to college because that's your dream.
Indeed. And Karen Simmons, I think this is a perfect comment. Thank you, Aunt Karen. Persons who attain degrees in trade / vocational / technical are still college degrees. Let's stop separating them, academics and vocational. And I went to I have 3 degrees from technical schools. Trust me, the comments that were made from people who went to other schools in the area almost have our degree was less than. Trust me, I get it. Like it was like I never took people on because I just saw college for what it was, a business. But it's look, I'm thankful for Bermuda College, and I said no one's paying me to say what I'm about to say. I'm thankful for Bermuda College, and I wish that I would have taken advantage of the opportunity that I had with Bermuda College at the first go round. Why? Because the amount of money I could have saved my family and myself, not only money, but I could have gotten my career off the ground so much sooner. I'm thankful for the opportunities to leave Bermuda and experience what I did. But folks, Bermudians, you have so many opportunities to start right where you are.
Yeah.
And I would encourage many people to get outside of Bermuda. Join a company like KPMG and see if you can get into another office overseas. If you can, if your idea is not to go into college overseas, but we can't say that we don't have opportunities when we actually do.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Jamal.
All right, we've got to take a quick break, folks. Do not go anywhere. We're going to come back, wrap this up. Daily Play. While we take this break, just answer yes or no. Yes or no. Do you believe a college degree is still worth it? Yes or no? We'll take a break. Be right back after these messages. Stick with us.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
I'm part of the SSCP, giving us opportunities to go out and sell, which is what I'm doing today.
One of the most important things I learned in the SSCP is that failure is just a part of being an entrepreneur.
As a vocal community, then you can't go anywhere, can you? I just believe it's a really beautiful and amazing experience for everybody.
A lot of late nights being up, trying to finalize things, especially for me.
You don't have to do everything at once. Little steps is the key to success.
They helped me go through every step of the way.
It has helped me gain more confidence, so that's one thing.
I'm Marley Spriggs and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Joshua Allen and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Trey Robertson Richards and I am an entrepreneur. My name is Namira Rayner and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Vincent Darrell and I am an entrepreneur.
I'm Shayla Swan and I'm an entrepreneur.
I am Sophia Paxenhan. I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Zion and I'm a young entrepreneur.
Alrighty, welcome back. Sherry Vanderpool, I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, Lindo's People's Pharmacy, and One Communications. If you enjoyed today's conversation, discussion, and focus, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Sherry, it's time for the Daily Play brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Are you ready?
Sure, Jamal.
All right, it's a Who Said It. Quote, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. Unquote. It's a famous poet.
Maya Angelou. Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, that's probably the only poet she knows, folks. But anyway, I'm just saying,
I'll give you that one, Jamal. I'll give it to you.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Yeah. Any final thoughts on today's show?
Yeah, I appreciate Pinky Co for giving young people an opportunity to be business owners and giving them a start. It's about teaching people, like I said, to fish so they can feed themselves for times to come. I just love how she's giving back to others. And in regards to college, I think you have to find out what works for you. I think there are so many opportunities to work for others or work on your own, but you have to do for yourself, and the information is out there nowadays. So do what's best for you and be passionate about it.
Indeed, indeed. I appreciate the gesture. Whenever people are being given a hand up, not a handout, as Trevor and Trotty said, hand up. I think it can only lead to good things. My hope is that each and every one of them has themselves surrounded with good people that can direct them to make sure that they leverage the LLC as best possible. As far as whether a college degree is worth it or not, as a person whose family spent a lot of money on formal education, I'll always believe that it's every individual is different. I'm not academically inclined. I know what kind of situations I succeed in, but everyone is going to have a different path. I believe that people must do what's in their best interest, not their parents, not their family, not their friends, right? But do what they believe is in their best interest by any means necessary in the most legal way possible. May I add? Do I believe people can succeed without college? Absolutely. We have so many different examples around us. We do. But do I believe college is worth it? I believe it's worth it, but it has nothing to do with what's taught in a classroom and everything to do with the greater experience. That greater experience being the opportunity to grow around beyond your environment, around different people. If you get the opportunity to go to a college, if you get the opportunity to go to a trade school, if you get the opportunity to go to a community college, being around a different group of people and learning in a different environment, not in that classroom, but from your peers, because different backgrounds that you come from. So I believe it's worth it if you figure out what environment you want to be in that can get you to where you might want to be. And if you're like me and don't know where you want to be and what you want to do, then it's even better, because once you surround yourself with people who do, you may get an idea of what you don't want to do that leads you to where you want to be and what you do want to do. Sherry, you got some daily inspiration for us?
I do. Don't allow your past or present condition to control you. It's just a process that you're going through to get to the next level. And that was by TD Jakes.
All righty. Pastor TD Jakes, is he? Or
Yes.
Reverend? Okay, Pastor TD Jakes.
Yeah.
Folks, thanks again. If you appreciated today's conversation, discussion, and focus, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure we're sharing these conversations throughout our community. They are important. They will help us. And again, as lecturer and economist Craig Simmons said, we have it before us. Get up that college. Take advantage of those opportunities, and let's get in the workforce. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamel Hartman. My friends, make it a safe and great day. We are out. Peace.